You are watching Q2Cast TV.
Welcome to the Madman Cafe, live on Q2Cast TV.
Broadcasting live from high atop his mountain fortress, the only place with enough altitude to hide from his creditors. He's the man who once tried to teach a toaster to sing the blues. And somehow, he got a standing ovation. Lock your windows, hide your sanity, and definitely don't offer him a map. Here is the Madman.
Yes, that's right. It's Tuesday again, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 Central, live atop of my fortress in the great Staten Island, New York. It's hot here. It's really hot. So hot. But yeah, here we are. Here we got another edition of the Madman Cafe. Don't forget to hit that like, share. Don't forget to subscribe. Very important on there. Of course, obviously, we have super chats. We have memberships. You can hit it right below there. Thank you again for those who have in the past on there. Also, don't forget, shopcuticast.com. Gear up, stand out, join the movement. There's an extra 10% off going right now. Stay Mad is the promo code. It's going through the summer itself. You can get all these great t-shirts and more, mugs and everything. Stay curious, stay informed, stay mad t-shirt is available on there. And of course, the Let Anime Speak, No to Censorship, and the official Madman Cafe shirt available right now live on shopq2cast.com. Of course, thank you for all those for showing up on there. We really do appreciate it once again on there. So we're going to bring in our regulars into the panelists. Snob will be a little late as usual on there. We can almost clock it on there. Starting off, we're going to have Outpost Nerd.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
And from across abroad over at the UK, we got Dean.
Why, hello there.
Unfortunately, we're going to start off with some bad news, and actually, most of the show will be bad news anyway. But we had a couple of obituaries that we got to talk about. Of course, obviously, last week we lost Randall Mantooth. If you ever seen the great TV series Emergency, one of the earliest TV series. Detailing about paramedics and the fire department. He played Johnny Gage on the show. Really great actor. Great TV series you haven't seen. If you have MeTV, obviously it's on in about 2 hours. Yeah, it's on in 2 hours.
My dad watches it every day. My dad has a few shows and he watches it.
Oh yeah, it is a great series. The early paramedic stuff on there. You see the stuff today. Rescue 911 and all the others. This is one of the starting points for this type of genre. Also, and this was a shocker on this. We also lost Sam Neill, one of the great actors out there. The man who played the Spawn of Satan.
Dr. Grant.
He played Dr. Grant on Jurassic Park. He was also the doctor aboard Event Horizon. Thank you. Event Horizon.
Event Horizon, yes.
Event Horizon, The Mouth of Madness. Some great films.
Merlin.
And there,
he's one of the great Merlins we've ever had.
And don't forget Hunt for Red October as well, one of the Russian officers.
Him and Sean Connery. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, they were great together.
And did you know he auditioned for James Bond?
I did a little tribute yesterday. So check it out on my channel. Little photo gallery of my favorites, and I love that scene where they see dinosaurs for the first time, and the other doctor, I can't remember her name, she's so fascinated about the extinct plant she doesn't notice until he literally moves her head to see him, and she's like, oh, I saw that movie at my first sleepover when I was in kindergarten. We watched that movie at a friend's birthday party. The
Somebody
raptor
did.
scared the
Somebody
shit out
did
of
an
me.
AI where there's a dinosaur walking through a cemetery, and he comes up to Sam Neill's grave, and he falls over and cry.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Mm.
You know, it's like, oh my god. But yeah, Sam Neill's done a lot. Like I said, he auditioned for James Bond. There's a video out there someone put up that he
He would have made a
auditioned.
great Bond villain.
It was The Living Daylights was the movie that
Really?
was being done at that time. So they chose Timothy Dalton over Sam Neill. So you could have been, what would it have been if Sam Neill was James Bond? You know, to that point.
That would have been
Mhm.
interesting. He would. I
Yeah.
don't think he would have played in Jurassic Park
Mhm.
because that was
Yeah.
around the same.
Yeah.
That was a little earlier.
Yeah. Moving on a bit, we also have just found out that several states are right now preparing for lawsuits against the Warner Brothers Paramount merger, which was expected to that point. I don't know if the UK has approved it yet. I know there was issues in the United Kingdom that they wanted to drop certain things like Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon. Still haven't heard back on that as of yet.
I noticed a trend in that list.
Yeah, if you notice, it's California, New York. You know, to that point. Also, we got a first peek on the poster for the return of the great
Oh
cult
yeah.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Oh, those movies were so cheesy. They were awesome.
And Dr. Gangrene is returning
Yes, I love John Astin.
in his 90s.
Oh.
I mean, this guy's in his mid 90s.
Yeah,
And he's doing this role again. It's like, holy crap. He said, I'm not a mad scientist. I'm an angry scientist.
yes.
You know?
Oh, I love these. I grew up watching the cartoon.
Oh,
They
the
did-
cartoon's great.
I remember he was in Course Gomez. He was in The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. with Bruce Campbell.
Right?
He did Dr. Gangrene in the cartoon series,
Mhm.
as well as Gomez in the cartoon series of the Addams Family.
And you know, because he started out in the second movie, he was opposite another actor who's become big, is George Clooney.
Yes, I don't
George
think
Clooney is in the second Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
I
It's
don't
one of
think
his
he
first
acknowledges
roles.
it. I think he ignores that.
Yeah, he does, but it's one of his first roles. Also, some big news out there. Hold on, let me see if I can clip this. I didn't get to clip it. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on. There we go. Come on. I forgot to bring that up. If you know Michael Mann, you know, with Miami Vice and all that, there was a movie that he made that made him infamous. And it's about to get re-released, anniversary theatrical. It's getting a 4K upgrade, Manhunter, which is our first introduction. And, you know, a lot of people say, you know, Anthony Hopkins did a great job, Silence of the Lambs, as Hannibal Lecter. Nobody goes back to Brian Cox. Brian Cox did a fantastic performance as Hannibal Lecter. I mean, this stars William Peterson. You know, of course, you know his career and you know CSI and all that. I mean, if you want to see early CSI acting, go see Manhunter. It is fantastic. Tom Noonan, who plays the serial killer in this. Stephen Lang is in this also. It is a great cast made by a guy who made some great movies and great TV series on there. So that is coming out theatrically and probably is going to get a 4K restoration on Blu-ray itself. Also, something that's getting another.
Well, speaking of Brian Cox, he's doing Super Troopers 3 right now.
Yeah.
isn't he?
Yeah.
Coming out with a third one. Yeah. I love that where I love to see one of my favorite sequences, little bits they did in the first one was when they keep saying shenanigans.
Yeah.
And he says, if I hear the next person I hear saying shenanigans is going to get pistol whipped. And they say, hey, Farbo, what's that goofy place with all the goofy stuff on the walls and mozzarella sticks you like? He's like, shenanigans? You mean shenanigans? And I'm like, oh, you said it. Here's a pistol. I love the original Super Troopers is the best.
Mm-hmm. Also, a great, in a way you would call a sci-fi horror classic, is being remade from an Italian film. It's Bava's Planet of the Vampires is getting a 4K remaster. If you haven't seen this, it is a great film. It is so dark, moody. I mean, it's got the elements of sort of Alien. Also, it's just the mists and everything onto there. It is a really great. If you haven't seen this yet, you could see it. It's on streaming, but it's getting and this is Mario Bava who did this. One of the great Italian directors. He did this, and it is very well made. It's very well made, very underrated sci-fi horror classic in itself. And then, of course, we got this little bit of a problem. Overseas, they are sort of giving a R or X rating to My Dress Up Darling anime. If you haven't seen this, it is a great rom-com. I mean, I don't watch normally the rom-coms. There's very few of them, but there's a couple of them, like 100 Girlfriends that I really, really love. Is another one that I like also. This one is really a homage to the cosplayer, and they're deeming it that basically it is just disturbing. Now, I don't know what they mean by disturbing of a girl who wants to create dresses on cosplay. I mean, some of the characters, yeah, they're from hentai and from lolly stuff, but it's not over the top stuff. It is most basic cosplay, and this is some of the cosplay that she's done. The character has done in the series. In fact, one of them is she's dressed up as a male character from the series, from one of the series she loves, and it's a romance because the guy that she's falling in love with, he's sort of a character that creates these little Japanese figures, and he sews them himself. That's why they got together, because he's able to make costumes. He's very good with that. So they sort of their romance started blooming. They're in the second season on there. They'll probably get a third. But hey, listen, I don't know what is wrong with some people that they think that this is like explicit nature. This is nowhere near anything etchy or hentai-ish to that point. It is just a standard rom-com with a little bit of fan service, which is okay, and which you would see in any of these romance films to begin with on there. And then also we just found out Anime Expo, which just passed recently, their attendance was up well over 400,000 attendees to Anime Expo. Goes to show you, anime is not dying anytime soon. It's not dying.
We've been seeing the past maybe decade or two a rise in anime style Western shows. Like Afro Samurai, Avatar to an extent. But there's still so much that the studios don't understand. They're ignoring.
No, they are ignoring it. But the thing about it is, excuse me, there's so much great anime coming out. I mean, right now, I haven't even watched the second episode of Ghost in the Shell, which that one we're going to have to talk about, because basically there's a lot of guys that have just done episode 1 and says, it's nothing like the original. It is the original. Number one, it is the original. Number 2, there's nothing wrong with the 90s version. It's not denouncing the 90s version. The 90s version is excellent as well, but the original manga itself is completely different as far as the Major's character. It's a little bit more comedic because it's that 80s type. If you watch a lot of the 80s anime, from that era, even the Dragon Ball stuff, you have that comedic value with the action.
Dragon Ball originally was heavily comedic in a lot of aspects.
Exactly.
Especially my friend's mom back in the late 90s. This was before Dragon Ball. We had Dragon Ball Z in America before Dragon Ball. And she would get the videos from Japan, and some of it, like, oh my God, this was shown in a cartoon. It's like there's so much nudity in it, but it wasn't just blatant. Like, you saw Goku naked after he transformed into the wearing.
There's like the panties bit. Why do I want sticky panties? And it's like, they were saying, oh, look, that's porn. And I said, no, it's not. It's making a joke. He doesn't understand what number one, it's the first time he's seeing a girl. He
Yeah,
never knew
he
what a
didn't know what
girl
a girl
is.
was.
So it's nothing sexual. It's just, hey, it's his innocence. He doesn't understand, seeing
Mhm.
something for the first time like that, that onto them. And finally, we just got this announcement. Tenchi Muno is returning by the original people that have done Tenchi Muno. This is crowdfunding. I believe they've already raised about $500,000 crowdfunding to bring back the original Tenchi Universe series. This is a continuation, not the latter stuff. This is the early stuff. They're going back. We're going to the pirate homeworld supposedly. So there's going to be a lot of pirates in there. We're going to see some.
I liked
story.
Tenchi.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I like
Go ahead,
Tenchi. I can never say it. Tenchi. How do you say it? Tenchi Muo? Muno. I can't say it. And Tenchi. Yeah, I'm not even going to try. I like Tenchi Galaxy. I did not like Tenchi in Tokyo, or the romantic versions that you get. I liked it. And I thought it was weird. Like his grandfather was the purple hair girl's lost brother. They were supposed to get married. I'm like,
yep.
At the time,
Well, you have to remember,
the
this
royal
is the
family
original
kind of
harem.
thing.
Yeah, you got to remember, Tenchi is one of the original harems.
I did not know that.
Before it was called, harem anime, to that point, because all these other girls, they loved him. They were all lining up for him. To that point. That's why you had Tenchi in Tokyo, Tenchi in Love, and all that, because basically that's what was going on. It was crazy. Those original series were you got to go back and watch it from the very beginning. It is a great series. For them to come out and say, listen, we're going back to the beginning, and we're going to continue the original storyline in space, going back to their original world and dealing with the pirates and all that. This is fantastic. This is a great announcement.
Yeah, I thought I'm looking that. I'll give it a chance.
Give it a chance. Like I said, go back and watch the original Tenchi Muno series. It is available out there. Several streaming sites do have.
Loved his sword. His sword to me was one of the coolest weapons in anime.
Oh yeah. No, and I love the little rabbit creature that turns into a ship. It's basically it's a ship.
Carrots. Like
he eats carrots in the ship. Yeah, and it like I said, it is a great series. A lot of discovery to the point. I mean, there are other sub series on there, which is like really not part of the Tenchi universe, but it's in a way a Tenchi character. The Tenchi GPX and a couple of the others. But those were good stories also as well. Mm-hmm. But nothing goes back to the original Tenchi Muno universe itself. This is, like I said, it's a fantastic thing. So, moving on to the main topic today. And of course, I know a lot of people have stuff to say about this. And of course, we're going with this first. Someone put this up. Suicide Squad, kill the physical media. Sony, I don't know, this is to the point you could take it in different directions. And the story is continuing to change every moment onto there. But let's start with this. And Dean can confirm on this because it's in his direction. Sony, by September 1st, will be removing 555 movies from their PlayStation systems. In simpler terms, if in their PlayStation Store, or if you have it in your catalog within your system, it will disappear. Mostly, this is all Studio Canal stuff, and it's all major titles. This is nothing like it's a small title here there. We're talking Terminator and many others movies that are really popular that Studio Canal is distributing in the UK, and that's a major situation to that point. And people are like, well, they're losing. This is proving physical media is important. If you do it digitally, you don't own anything.
Mm-hmm.
Dean, what do you say on this? In your direction.
Well, it's quite strange, isn't it? Because you have on the Sony store a game called Lego Lord of the Rings. And Lego Lord of the Rings you can't buy anymore. Right. And it's a game I absolutely love. And the reason you can't buy it is license. has lapsed. No one owns the copy. Well, whoever owns the copyright hasn't given an ongoing license for the game to be sold. So the game is no longer sold. It's in this kind of copyright to hell. However, when it comes to games, Sony typically has what they call an existing customer retain clause. In other words, they say, when we sell a digital copy of your stuff, whether it be a game or a movie or whatever it is, the person who buys it has a perpetual license, and that license cannot be revoked. So what that means is the game stays on the store, even though it can't be sold, and you can always download it. And pretty much everybody, you're talking Steam and places like that, they all do this on the computer game front because they're scared of the backlash you will get from gamers if gamers suddenly start to lose access to their games because the selling license or the rights to sell the game expire and are no longer available. And now what you've got is on a slightly different media from games to film. Whoever negotiated the contract with Canal Studio, or Studio Canal, sorry, they didn't have this in the clause. They didn't go into, when they arranged the contract, when they were writing the contract, negotiating it, they didn't have this existing customer retain clause, which, I mean, it's utter madness. Surely if you are wanting to sell a product that is digital, you want to make sure that even when you no longer can sell the product, your customers can still retain their copies of that product. So Studio Canal's done the right thing, which is you no longer have the right to sell or have people have access to the films, and you no longer have the right to keep that film available for your customers. So someone, I think, has dropped the ball. My big question here is this endemic across the industry? In other words, on the computer game front, it's very rare something like this comes up because, on the computer game side, they always negotiate to have this clause built in so that you've always got access to your game. I'm just beginning to wonder whether this is something that Sony have dropped the ball on for just this one provider, the Studio Canal, or whether this is actually a ticking time bomb. And we're going to have contracts that have termination periods. And as those periods are met and not renewed, we're going to see more and more films just drop off and disappear.
Well, there is still a pending. Well, the lawsuit is going on. I think it's being appealed by Amazon. There was a lawsuit in California for this same specific situation, where it's basically you don't own it. If you bought digital from their digital store and the licensing goes out, it's gone. It's gone from your file. It's basically it'll disappear on there. And I believe somebody sued. I think they somewhat won, but it's being appealed. The problem is that this is taking a long time. This is similar, and I'll bring this up, between Apple and Epic Games also, because you have that whole situation between Apple and Epic Games. We're in its 6th year of that lawsuit. That it's going back and forth on appeals, to the point. 6 years have gone by with the whole thing with the Epic Game Store and Apple, and this is just like I said, this is the beginning, I believe, of the worst right now to this point. I mean, you got the next level is PlayStation is ending game discs digital only by 2028.
Yeah. And that coupled with the fact that they, on the film side, they're saying you don't own the copy, you could lose access. On the game side, typically, as I stated, you won't lose your copy, but it's not clear. And you don't know what Sony have negotiated with the third parties. And I suspect these lawsuits, the judge is going to rule, well, you don't own a copy. You're licensed a copy, but that license should be a perpetual license. It should be a non-revocable perpetual license that cannot be taken off you. And I suspect what might happen is there will be consumer groups who push for clearer labeling. So you got to buy a film and it's got to have big letters. This is not a perpetual copy you're purchasing. It's a temporary copy, or you buy it, you own it effectively. And clearly labeled, people can then make a decision on, do I want to spend money buying this digital product, knowing when the license expires, I lose access to it.
Yeah, but see, here you got also, we're going back to PlayStation 4. Do you remember what they were saying on PlayStation 4? Oh, you could buy the game and you have the physical media in your hand, play the game, share the disc with your friends, turn it back, then turn it in and get like a credit so you can buy a new game. What happened between game with PlayStation 4 and then now we're in PlayStation 5?
Developers thought they were losing money.
And well, no, actually, here are the numbers on this. Most people don't realize this. Sony is now shutting down their disc section, and I've reported this before. Not only their gaming disc, their actual blank disc division has been shuttered as well. They're not making as much as they used to. That's why you have companies like IO and Verbatim has been ramping up mass production because they've been getting high-end demand for discs right now, whether it's CD, DVD, or for gaming. They're getting a high demand right now. When you look into the perspective, and I've been on the manufacturer end, I've worked the manufacturer end of the movie part of it, or the VHS era and the early DVD. It's about 5% that basically Sony would have to lose out to that point to the manufacturer, because the costs are like, if you're ordering 2 million copies of a particular game, roughly it's about $5 to $10, cost wise, to the power. Sometimes even lower, depending on what negotiation. I mean, when we were doing VHS for Tybo, I think it cost the people that were running Tybo about $250 a VHS tape, with plus a little bit more, like $1 more for packaging, depending on how they wanted to package. So that's you say, well, that's not much, they couldn't show that up. And then the other end is the retailer end. Retailer end takes about 30% to that point. So when you think to the perception of an $80 video game, you're talking about maybe $40, $45 that actually Sony would be getting in that format. And why not cancel out the middle guys and go for the whole 80? And that, and that's why, this has been happening to this point. But the thing is that this has been a slow process, because a lot of the stuff that was released as of late there were no discs in the container. It was digital codes at certain points on certain games. So it's like you didn't get a disc. You got a digital code. It's like, well, why am I buying that? Oh, because you love the case? I said, no, I want the physical disc. I want the disc in my library. There are a lot of guys who have these, and lately it's been coming forward that they have these large libraries in their home. And they say, I am never going to give this up, because most of this stuff is no longer available to that point. And the other half of it is the day before the announcement, these three gentlemen decided to dump some of their stock.
Yeah,
you're talking about what was it? So 400,000 of his shares, and this is the CEO for Sony. $400,000 a share.
Smells fishy.
9 million to that point. The other sold about 25,000, which is about 525. Another one sold, it ended up to be like 73 million, or no, 4.73 million. He got into his pocket. And the messed up thing about this is it didn't affect the stock. You would think something like this happened, then announce physical media is going away. The stock would be like, oh, no, it didn't. If anything, it went up.
Well, I think physical media has been going away for a long time now. Your high street stores have been closing, less and less people buying physical media. And it's a lot easier when you're at home and you think, I want to play a game. You go onto a store, you browse, and you pay and download straight away. Whereas if you want the physical media, you go onto Amazon or you go to the high street, you got to order, you got to wait a day or two, it arrives, and then you can play. So it's not a surprise. Physical media has been slowly on the decline. I guess from Sony's point of view, they're maximizing their profits. You're seeing this with Microsoft right now, and their talk about the next gen consoles being really expensive because they can't. They're not going to sell them at a loss anymore. I think it is. And you got this big push for online access, so your virtual gaming machines. So every strategy that these companies are following is all about everything being purely digital and you not owning anything, and you're going to be happy, apparently.
Yeah, but see, here's the other perspective to this point of physical versus the store. Okay, right now, if you go to the store for most of the average games or anything like that, you're paying full price still.
Yeah,
that's if you can find them.
Here's the current ones on some of these that are very, very popular. Grand Theft Auto, you see the price there.
Yeah.
It's still full price in the Sony store. But if you get it from Amazon, you're paying about $23.
Yeah, what I would say there, to be fair, is unless it's a new game, most people don't buy games at full price on a digital store. You wait for a sale to arrive, and then you buy it on sale. And
yeah, but it's very rare, and the thing about it is,
you say it's very rare.
Markdown.
No, these sales come round. These sales come round constantly, and it's got to the point where no one buys a full price game unless it's just been released, and they want it within that golden period.
So I have that experience a few months ago. I put on on Steam on my wish list Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, and you can have it to where they'll notify you when it goes on sale. It was like $25-$30 for the Game of the Year edition. The regular game, Blood Moon Tribunal. Love this series. I got it for $5 when it went on sale, 2 months later. It happens.
No, I'm not saying sales don't happen.
Yeah,
but you're not getting the sales that you would see on an Amazon or GameStop, to that point. And
GameStop, don't mention GameStop. GameStop's a fucking
I know, but I'm just saying, I'm just putting because there are many other places that, other independent small stores, mom and pops that just sell video games. I mean, here in Manhattan,
I took
Chinatown,
a stack of games about this big, maybe a dozen games to GameStop and wanted to sell. You know how much they wanted to give me for a dozen games?
Yeah. I can tell you from
$5. I was going to lowball it at 20, but $5. Jeez.
I could tell you some stories.
Yeah, I looked at the guy. I said, "Don't insult me. Give me my games back. I'm done with you."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I've never stepped in a GameStop again.
No, you sell them on eBay. That's where you make your money. That's where you get your money. You sell them on eBay.
I kept them.
And the thing about it is,
I decided
on eBay, on some of the stuff that you can't get anymore, it's going for like $100, $200.
Oh yeah,
$400 on eBay.
I've got a garage full of old physical media, mostly for the PC, and it's there's loads of original stuff there.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, there's a difference between PC versus PlayStation, or Xbox, these gaming units. You got to remember, PC will be king always when it comes to gaming. Why? Because you're not going to get the same parameters that you do on a PlayStation or an Xbox. When they say, "Well, we're 4K," but you're not 4K native. You're upscaling.
Mm.
And you have there are so many games when it comes to their PC version, you can mod the hell out.
Oh yeah.
Like I've on my PC version of Morrowind, I played Morrowind on Xbox for like 15 years. Never ran out of stuff to do in that game. Love the game. When I got it on PC, I got Tamriel Rebuilt, that amazing mod that has been going on since about 2004. They're rebuilding the rest of they want to rebuild the entire world of Elder Scrolls on the Xbox, on the PC. They're slowly doing it, but there's so much to do. Every few months you get new stuff. You don't get that for free. You get it for free.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got sites like Nexus Mods, and
that's where
I get my stuff from Nexus Mods. I paid once to become a member, and I get free downloads and all the rest of it. I just didn't want to wait through all the adverts and have the throttled downloads.
I've never had a problem with it, but I
know there's some controversy around how they police some of the mods, but I respect what they're doing as a site, and I just wanted to reward them for it. And this was about 10 years ago, I think. But however,
it's gotten so much better.
I mean, even Nintendo's starting to do something similar to this.
Yeah.
What's
The
that?
Nintendo.
What, the removal of physical
Oh no,
media?
no, Nintendo is cracking down. They will block your console if they will tell you if you do so much as put the cartridge, the CD in wrong, and if flag it, they will shut you down.
Yeah.
You know, and here's the messed up. And we say that PC is better. Could you tell me, of all the PlayStations, which is the best PlayStation that has been released?
PS4.
I've never played. I've always been a Xbox guy.
PlayStation 1 was great. The PS2 was fantastic. 3 was a joke, and PS4 was my favorite.
Number 2 is the best PlayStation out of all of them. Why? Because of the way it was designed, the way that you could basically, you could basically change the drive systems and everything worked so well with that.
Yeah, and it came with the Blu-ray at the time.
Yeah, and
that was revolutionary.
And
that
Blu-ray
won
built into
Sony the HD wars. That was amazing. As well as porn being allowed on Blu-rays and not on HD.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different industry.
That is a whole. It's the Betamax
well.
VHS again, isn't it?
Yeah, it still does very well in 2026. You believe me, that hasn't changed much on the physical media and somewhat, because the stores are still out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the PS2 is still the greatest release one. But see, what's going to be the future for this? And here's the thing. Have you seen what's been going on with the printers lately?
Yes. The 3D printers?
No, not 3D printers, regular paper.
Oh, the subscriptions. And they stopped printing. Yeah.
The ink, the paper, and now the machine.
Jeez.
Okay.
It's like I remember when Microsoft Word came with your computer, and now you have to go.
And you got to go buy it now.
Script.
Adobe. Now you got to pay a monthly fee to that. Do you remember? You get a disc, you throw the disc in, you load everything up on there, and sometimes you get some pirated versions, of course, out there. Now you're paying a monthly fee, and that's if which is ridiculous. Yeah. Hang on, let me just bring it. Let me bring it in. Show that again.
I don't have a CD drive on my damn computer.
Show that again.
Go. Let's see it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
And I remember being in college as a student, you'd get free. Take me down. I remember you'd get a free version for certain classes.
Yeah.
I took a class called Microcomputer Applications. It was broken down into 4 quarters during the semester. Each 3.5 weeks of doing each quarter of the semester you do you start off Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and Access, and you do that. You learn all about them. I could not do Access or Excel. Mm-hmm. Holy crap!
So basically the PS6. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a major prediction, and most people are predicting this. This is what's going to happen to the next gen systems. The next gen systems are only going to be an external hard drive. That's all it's going to be. Think about that for a minute. And they're going to be so expensive that you'll have to either lease it or pay a membership just to have one, because they're going to be well over $1,000. Guaranteed.
Is it? Didn't I hear the new Xbox is going to be like $1,200?
Yep.
And all it is, it's an ugly black box. Like there's nothing aesthetically pleasing.
Think about that for a minute. All it is an external hard drive.
Say what you will about the Xbox and the 360 and even the Xbox One. They had the way they looked was just it became iconic. The green and black with the original Xbox. That's pretty iconic, and then the white and the curve of the 360. They looked good. They looked good on the under your TV.
You know what's the major problem on the PS5? One of the most major problems on the PS5, the biggest problem.
Not having any games.
Besides that, how do you display the PS5?
On the side, right?
That's the way they built it.
But most people's consoles are flat.
You got to put it flat. And you know the reason why?
Heat vents.
Yeah, and the thermal paste.
And the
what happens is when it overheats, the
Yeah.
thermal paste will.
There's this vintage gaming store. I think it's in North Carolina. It's something Castle. I watch sometimes, and they've had people. Like they go to like garage sales and stuff, and flea markets and buy stuff. And they brought back so many PlayStations that are like melted, and they have to fix it and stuff.
There are two guys online right now, and I see them on YouTube and on Facebook, on the little shorts. And there are people who come in that basically they bring the PlayStation 5 in, and they say, it doesn't work anymore. Like some things where the power pack melted or something like that, or basically they're playing for 2-3 hours and then it just shuts down. And the guy opens it up. He's like, he showed it high speed. It opens it up. First thing, it's the dust bunnies are in there like insane.
Yeah.
Okay, that's first. The second part is when he pulls out the board, the freaking thermal paste is like just literally sitting away from the actual chip itself. It's just literally it's gone. There's no thermal paste on the chip.
Wasn't that a big problem with early 360s, like them overheating?
Yeah, they would overheat, and soldering would, and that was the red ring of death, I believe, was the soldering would melt and it would disconnect a chip, and that would then cause the red ring.
Yeah. But the
Okay.
thermal paste had nothing on that. Didn't have any problems with that. But the PS5, yes, you need to for those of you out there watching, if you got a PS5 right now and you have it standing upright, no, please turn it down to flat. You're literally letting your thermal, and especially if you do more than 2 hours of gaming, your thermal paste is just sliding down off the chip. Literally, you're going to get portions where it's going to shut down. It's literally, and they don't tell you these things.
I have little to no experience with PlayStations. I went from Sega Genesis to Nintendo to Xbox. That was my progression.
Yeah. See, the thing is, with a computer, because the computer is on its side onto there, you have heat sinks, and then you have coolings that are just installed on top of the chip.
Yeah.
The only thing that's on the chip on most of the time in a PS5 is just the fan. You're only getting fan air. That's it.
I saw a computer tech once. He took this computer was done for. It had overheated. He literally put a ice cube on the board, and you just watched it melt in like 15 seconds. It was so hot, but there was nothing he could do about it. It was fried.
Now, if you think that this is only just what's happening with Studio Canal, what's happening with the video games, no, you're wrong, because you're getting a lot of this now. First of all, Crunchyroll. Who owns Crunchyroll? Sony. They're in the middle of 2 class action lawsuits. One is a privacy breach. The other one is selling information without people's knowledge. Both are going on currently right now. Okay, it's basically still there's a settlement, but they're appealing the settlement to the points on certain parts of this. The other half is the management end. Basically, you have a discontent between Toho, Toei, and a lot of the other studios. They're really upset with Sony and Crunchyroll because of their merchandising, distributing, and licensing, and all that. It's just literally just major problems left and right. And on top of of course, the bad subtitling and the bad English dubs, to the point where some of the studios are looking at doing it AI, but in Japan, not in the US, cutting out the voice actor.
Talking about the dubbing, you literally have English activists.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Literally changing the story to fit a narrative.
Oh yeah.
They did that back when it was Funimation. Fuck Funny. I hate them.
Well, no, some of the people in Funny are right here in Crunchyroll.
Yeah, they moved. They moved over to Crunchyroll, and I'm surprised Toei and Japan hasn't had bigger issue with them sooner.
Oh no, it happened. It's just basically nobody was talking about it. That's the issue.
Well, during the big stuff, people were talking about something different, and then that's when a lot of the shady shit Funimation did came to light through all the big stuff.
Yeah, and then of course, obviously, you got Now, no more free tiers on Crunchyroll. Catalog cancellations, manga, and all that merch subscriptions and rollbacks and all that that's going on as well. And what do we have here? Ah, yes. And this is all leading to some major lawsuits now. Now we have the Dutch, the Mexicans, and the Brazilians looking to pull lawsuits out. The UK Retail Association has slammed Sony on top of this as well. Now, will the EU get involved? No, they're not going to get involved. They want this to happen. They want this onto this point. They're not going. But other countries may fall into the perspective that they're going to go after Sony. It's not uncommon because it's Google's been sued, YouTube, many other streaming sites that have been sued, and not over censorship or anything like that, over their practices. To that point. So, but the thing about it is, as I said before, the Apple and Epic Games Store situation has been going on for 6 years now. This is something that most likely will not get resolved overnight, to the point. And then we just got this morning. Crunchyroll has announced that basically, if you want to access their store and you have a membership, you must be in the mega fan and above situation. In other words, they've just locked out the fan, which is basically right now the price just went up from $8 to $10 a month. Mega is $13.99, and I forgot what the next tier level. I think it's almost $20 on the next tier after that. So the top two tiers will have access to the Crunchyroll site and all the big discounts.
Mm-hmm. See, this reminds me of this is a gaming company. Have you ever heard of Hero Forge? Yeah. They tried to do this shit last year to us. What they did is what you do on Hero Forge, you can subscribe to them. That gives you access to kit bashing, where you can move stuff around, create anything you really want. And I've seen some amazing creations. And you have a week early every Tuesday they release new things, new assets that you can build with. You get a week, and they don't come out until the week later for non-subscribers. What they tried to do last year, they tried to release like 3-4 dozen new assets behind a paywall, another paywall on top of subscriptions. And us in the fandom, and I'm big into the Hero Forge fandom on Facebook. I build stuff all the time. It's therapeutic for me. I'll probably never buy from them, but it's fun. We in the community had such an uproar that hundreds and thousands of people started canceling their subscriptions to Hero Forge. And we're done. We heard you. We're doing away with this extra paywall. Please stop unsubscribing. And that I give them so much credit. They saw the blowback from a decision they made and said, hey, we hear the customers. We hear our fan base. We're going to listen to y'all. We're going to change it y'all want.
The fans are screaming here. The fans are screaming here in Sony, and they're not listening.
Sony won't. See, Hero Forge is still very small. Mm-hmm. They have some of the best figures and stuff for gaming, but they're still a pretty small company.
So welcoming in Snob has arrived. Hello, Snob.
Hello, start the show.
Now we can start the show. Snob, what do you think of the whole situation? I know I sent you the articles already of the whole Sony debacle that's going on right now within gaming, within media, whole situation.
Which aspect of it?
Physical media. Well, the losing of 500 titles over in the UK, and also Sony switching out of physical media games to full digital.
All right. Let me mention the whole. I think the biggest thing to me is off the bat is primarily you bought something and now you found out that you don't really own it, and they're going to just take it away. Now, I mean, I understand that, the legal aspects of that. The Sony might not be able to keep that on their platform, but you sold it to these people as if they were buying it and they would have access to it forever, I believe. So I would say they got to, it's got to be some sort of change. First of all, if you're going to sell me something, if it's buy or rent this movie, well, you're not. If I'm not really buying, you should say license to watch for certain amount of time, and then I'd be okay with that, provided. But I'm not paying $20-25, the price of a DVD or a Blu-ray to buy it. In that case, you better cut the cost significantly. Or the other thing is, allow me to download it so that I can watch it whenever I want. I don't have to. I'm not tied to your platform. So that's what I would, I would say on that issue. For the non-physical stuff, I mean, I like physical stuff, but to be honest, I have Steam, and the vast majority of the things on Steam I have are downloaded. I don't have very many physical media anymore, and it's pretty convenient to just download it and off you go. But
I knew that was coming up.
But
Steam is a little different. Steam is a little different than the PS5.
It is a little different.
Yeah,
it is a little different. And I think that the primary reason that, if you go and you look at PlayStation games, for example, and you see, there's, if you want to buy a digital copy of some of their games, and you look at the price for the same game reused on physical media, it'll be, a half to a quarter of that cost. So that's what Sony is doing. They don't want you selling and buying their games used. Most video games are quite, it's not like a car, right? He doesn't. You don't. You get it used, you still pay a lower price, but it's perfectly good. So that's what they're trying to prevent. The people reselling their stuff because they're selling it for a lot less.
Yeah, but the thing about it is also there are a lot of guys in pirated sites that they have it already in the system, and you could download it and put it on a disc and play it in the unit. To that point, and it's this is going to increase piracy. It's going to increase piracy. Even though, like, for example, High Anime got shut down last week. They arrested 7 of its members. We got the video coming this week. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop it. Piracy is like a hydra. You cut off one head, 2 more are going to grow back.
Well, about a month or two ago, readcomicsonline.com got shut down. That's where a lot of people would go read their comics. They don't want to buy. They don't want to support these crappy comics.
And the thing is, there's some places where you can't get these products, whether it's the games, whether it's the movies, whether it's the comic books. There are places in the world that still does not have access to a lot of this product.
A lot of places now, within the last year or two, have become geo-blocked. Yeah. My state of Florida, for a lot of sites, I can't go on, and I live maybe 50, 60 miles from the state line, and I physically can't go on these websites.
That's why VPN. That's why VPN comes in.
Yeah, that's why
VPN comes in handy to that point.
But how long is it going to be? If not already, are they going to go after VPNs as well?
They are. They're already doing it. But here's the other thing. And this is the quiet part out that hasn't been put out loud yet. We talked earlier. PC is king when it comes to gaming, because you're going to get the 4K native. You're going to get the proper games in its proper formats on there. Lately, there've been a couple of small companies out, and let me zoom in on me a little bit here for just a moment, because I'll show you something that I have. My wife got me. This is the Atari Game Station Go, and in here there's over 200 games. From Atari, 2600, 7800. It's got Pac-Man, Asteroids, Missile Command. It's got some great stuff in here. It also has the capability with a memory chip to add more games to the system. In fact, Nintendo just caught on to this, so they had to put a block on Nintendo stuff being put onto here. But other systems, you're able to get on this. But also, the company that manufactures this is coming out with a second version of this, which is the Capcom version, which should be out in another month or two, I believe, which is going to be going for about $100. This we got for about $80 on there.
All that for just
$80. But here's the best part. This will connect to your television. It has an HDMI port. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Also on top of it, they have several controllers that will connect to this. So you don't have to use what the controllers on the unit itself. So you're able to put this on your TV and play this on your television. Now you'll say to yourself, well, you have to download the games, put it in there. There's another company. Let me just take me down here. Hold on. And this one's been quiet as well. Evercade. Evercade is up and coming. They've been out for quite some time. Now, the difference is with Evercade. They have handheld, they have consoles, and they have tabletop, so like bar tabletop units. Now, the difference is with these units, they're enforced by cassettes themselves, like the old-fashioned Atari cassette type situations, where you push the cassette in and you take the games off of that. Tomb Raider, Neo Geo, and a lot of other companies have deals with Evercade. And you can buy them. You'll have it in your hand, physical media, and you're able to play. You're able to play Pac-Man. You're able to play, a lot of great video games on these systems. Depending on which one, they can go from about $80 and up to about $150, $200 around there, depending on the systems, how big the system is. But they come with games officially on it, just like the Game Station Go. But you can buy other cartridges to add to your collection to this.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think, emulators have become a real big thing in the past few years? Do you think we're gonna see an explosion in Sony? And
it's happening already. The only reason why the emulators haven't been massive, here's the other part of the situation, is RAM memory. The price of RAM right now is an issue. Now, if we could find an alternative or a way of making, there's right now, there are factories being built here in the U.S. that will build RAM, but we're talking 3-4 years away before it goes online. Because we're using AI systems, we're building up facilities to that point. They're using up all the RAM. This is the same thing like happening with the video cards during the the gold rush on there, where people buying freaking video cards so they could make some money, to that point where they're video cards were like $800, $900, $1,000 for something that you paid $200, $300 2 years prior.
Yeah.
Look, this isn't really that new. Emulators have been around on PCs for a long time.
Right.
I know of there are some companies that have done in the arcade space, and I mean the physical arcade that we used to go to in the 80s. Yeah. There's a local our local community center has a teen space that my kids used to go to, and forever they've had a tabletop game and also a stand-up arcade style game that has 50, 100 different games you can just scroll through and you can choose them, and they're all usually part of one certain company. Like this is like you've shown with the Atari one. So I'm saying that's not really new. Now this is a bit new with the putting it on a a Nintendo sized one. Some of these are a bit more advanced. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, they're a bit more advanced. But that's been around for a long time, and that is very popular. I'm pretty sure there was an Atari one that had every Atari game, because those games are like 64K each, like they were built in the 64K area. Yeah, you could put 200. I'm surprised it's only 200 on that unit.
Well, no, they're going to be licensing more to it. Eventually, they'll be downloading more into it. In fact, right now, it's going into an update right now.
Yeah, you can put in thousands of these 64-bit old style games in there.
Going off what you're saying, Snob. When I was in middle school and high school, our local arcade at our mall, what they did, they took all the games out of the very back of the arcade and stuck about 20 computers. I think I've shared this before. 20 computers along the back wall. And what you would do is you take like a $10 or a $20 bill. You go up to the prize counter and say, "Hey, I want to go play on the computers." And they assign you a computer, then unlock the computer, and you had 2-3 hours, and you had hundreds of games that you could choose from. And we just keep going back all day, from like opening till closing on Saturday, every 2 or 3 hours. Here's some more money, and we play for hours.
So they had emulators. Were you playing these games on there, or you're playing PC games?
PC games, emulated games, all sorts of games. So it wasn't just. So I experienced that as a kid, and I miss it.
When I was in when I was in Singapore 20 years ago, over 20 years ago, and there was internet cafes all over the place specifically for gaming, which was just PCs, and they played whatever the big game at the time would be. People would, teenagers would come in and play that on a full PC. But
we still have an internet cafe in my town. Yeah. Like on one of the back roads, we're like, why is this place still open? How are you still open?
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think this is really that new. It's just but they have been getting better at it from what you've said, Al. And it looks to me like they've got it. They've got a whole ecosystem together now. So that's pretty good. And these things are. I mean, people like this. A little bit of nostalgia for us. And if it's you get your Asteroids, your Space Invaders, your classics. I mean, and there's 200 of them. I mean, how can you can always, why wouldn't you?
Probably plenty of room for more, too.
It has room for more, but also it has a memory card, external memory card, too. So basically, you're able to add to this.
I would consider picking one of the, for $80, pick up one of those just for, just for fun to try these different things. And I think that's genius with these guys having an HDMI cable, and then you could hook it up to whatever your controller and just play on a TV. I mean,
they're selling their own controllers, so you can buy a controller.
You can buy their controller. You can't hook up a PlayStation or Xbox One.
No. They have their own version of it. It connects directly. They're really nice ones. They're just coming out with them. Multiple.
I wouldn't be surprised if a third party pulled up their own, that could hook up to it anyway.
Probably, yeah. But right now they're making it themselves. The company that
it's probably Bluetooth
Go is making it themselves. Every time the conventions come up, they've got so many new wares on there. They're just now starting to release the cases for them. You can put it in a case and travel with you with it. So it's on there. And I've seen some people, they take like right here, you have the thumb controller. They figured out a way of putting like a joystick. Put it right onto the stick it right on there, and you could just use on a joystick situation. And the thing is, each of these games are set for each of the controllers. The roller, because you got a roller over here, for certain games. You got the thumb part, and then you have the roller, like this one down here for Missile Command.
And Centipede. Centipede as well.
And Centipede, yeah. Centipede.
And Millipede, yeah.
Centipede, no Millipede.
And Tempest. Tempest as well.
So the
Atari made some great games. They made some. I played all of these in the arcade, and I loved it. I remember back, this is going... they clamped down a lot on it in the past 20 years, but you would download a MAME controller. So it's a MAME program, sits on your PC, and then you just get the ROMs. So the original ROMs of these games. And they were available everywhere on the internet. Not so much now, you got to know which sites to go to. So you could, on your PC, collect thousands of old arcade games and play them. There we go. Tempest, fantastic game. And that uses the roller. It's a good game.
Yeah, it's great. It's one of my favorite. I play it all the time.
Yeah.
I play it all the time on this. So we're going to monitor, see what happens with this whole Sony thing, because it's still ongoing. The lawsuits are coming to that point.
Okay, well, hold on. What are the lawsuits for?
they
not
basically
to remove the physical media.
because of the physical media situation. You got Mexico. Oh, that's why you weren't here for that. Mexico, Brazil, and the Dutch are on this. The UK Retailer Association has condemned it.
I can see condemning it and stuff. I don't see how they're going to get I can build my Xbox, PlayStation however I want, right? Like,
Well, a kid
the
just
next version
just beat Microsoft in Brazil because the law's a little different in Brazil. And because what happened was his computer was hacked, and he had like a couple of hundred games in his system on there. And basically, someone hacked, pulled everything out. He couldn't gain access back into his system. He couldn't gain access to his cloud. And what was Microsoft's response to it? Well, we'll have to purge your account, and you'll have to create a new account. And if you want those games back, you'll have to rebuy them again. So
yeah, that's a little different.
Yeah, he took it to court, won, and Microsoft had to pay $400 on top of that.
I can see why these systems would want to go without the. I mean, the drives are pretty, power hungry, right? If you remove the drives, you can make things a lot smaller. You can, less power requirements. I can see why they'd want to do that. I think it's probably not a good idea consumer wise, but we used to have cartridges. Now we went to CDs, DVDs. I mean that stuff changes. I think it's kind of a business decision one way or the other, and I think they'll have to. I mean, I'd be curious if I was Microsoft. I'd be like, hey, we're gonna have physical media on our stuff. You can download it, or you can get physical media. And screw you, Sony. We're going to try to win this next console generation war.
Well, it's all going to be like I said before you came in. It's going to be like the printers. You're going to end up have to pay a monthly fee just to get an external hard drive. That's all it is. The PlayStation 6, the new Xbox, all they are going to be is external hard drives. That's it. Nothing special to that point, because everything's going to be digital. You're going to download it.
There'll still be a very expensive graphics card in there.
Yeah, there's going to be a card
and networking and stuff like that.
It's
so
not even that
got
expensive.
And processing. You're going to have
expensive. I mean,
yeah,
they're going to push
beat
people
out a
to
PC.
PC.
You're not going to beat
with
PC's way ahead.
crypto mining and stuff like that. Graphics cards have gone through the roof.
Yeah, but they're going to just push more and more people to PCs because
PlayStation.
These systems keep going up. And the PCs are, relatively stable. It's almost, it's getting close to the same. So why wouldn't I go with a PC where I can update my graphics card
and get a better range of games?
Yeah, and
apart
then
from exclusives, but even exclusives, especially on Microsoft, are coming out across multi-platform.
Especially Xbox in this last, part of the reason they've people suggested they lost this last console war is because they dropped exclusives. And also onto games for Windows. So people with PCs are like, what do I need an Xbox for? I'll just put it on my PC.
I think Sony and Xbox Microsoft have lost this console war, strangely.
Oh, really?
Because the PS5 just hasn't taken, hasn't been the
if
fire.
The PS2 is still
the PS4
best,
was.
If the PS2 is still the best console out of the lineup, then you got a problem.
Yeah. I think Xbox has done well on their Xbox S and X, and I've got an S and it's fantastic. I love it.
I think
I forgot to mention.
I think the PS5 is won over the Xbox this generation. That's my feeling about it. I think the numbers are.
Numbers. Well, you got to remember a lot of those numbers were guys who basically bought it to resell it on eBay.
Yeah,
and now. They're reselling it on eBay, the ones that got stuck with them, lower than the price that Sony is selling the PS5 for. About maybe $50 to $100 less. But I forgot to mention also, the Vita and the PS3 store is shutting down, I believe, in the next couple of months.
Yes, so you're right. The PS5 has outsold the Xbox by a lot. 2.65 consoles for every Xbox sold.
There you go.
But Microsoft have made incredible inroads into the PC market, and that's where they're kind of solidifying their base.
I think
They've done a lot on the PC side.
On the Xbox side, like I said, I've had more experience with the Xbox. They had bigger names in their games, like Halo, which was one of the biggest video game franchises ever made. The last Halo game was kind of
Halo Infinity.
When
in general,
343 took over, I think the quality really dropped.
Gaming in general, as far as PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, the quality of the games have dropped drastically. They're not as popular as they used to. What you're hearing is like smaller studios are doing better as far as popularity than actually. I mean, most people haven't heard of Helldivers. Helldivers did pretty good for itself to that point, and especially on the internet. You had guys on the internet playing I'm sorry?
Play Helldivers 2.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great fun to stream.
Are you ready for super democracy? I just watching that, I'm like, they remade Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
And it's so funny.
Except they made it more.
Yeah. Yeah. They made
did you guys talk about the sales, the Sony the big cheeses selling
yes, we talked about it.
Okay.
We talked about it. Yeah.
That smells fishy to me.
It didn't affect the stock. It didn't affect the stock at all. But there are 6 letters you have to remember to this point. FTC SEC. There's going to be a moment they're going to step back and go,
That's
they always got to sell though. You got to sell sometime if you're
a day before they announce physical media.
Yeah,
I thought it was 2 days after.
No, it was before.
It was right before. Wasn't after. Sure? Is they sold it. They sold it a day before. Yes, Vicky, it's quiet today. Yes, I know it's a little quiet today.
Did I misread that?
No, it was before. It was prior. That's why a lot of people were really pissed off. That basically these 3 guys, the 3 top tier, and a couple of the underlings sold their stock prior to the announcement.
I'm reading this. It says Sony's CEO made a particular multi-million-dollar stock disposal just 2 days after the PlayStation game disc announcement.
That's incorrect. It's before.
And it says it was on the 3rd, and the announcement was on the 1st. They made the announcement on the 1st of July, and then the selling was on the 3rd.
Other places are reporting that was prior.
This is the article that you sent me.
Really? That's what it says there? Because the ones I got,
the one from Tweaktown.
They may have wrote it wrong there. Because the newscast and stuff like that, they were saying it was prior.
Well, I mean the Sony stock went up slightly right after the announcement.
Yeah, it didn't go down. No, it went up.
I thought it would go down, but
yes, everyone.
But the investors like it because it means more money for Sony.
Exactly.
It says 2 days after on the 3rd of July, which is the 2nd.
Okay, we're hearing different things from different places.
It's all over the place on this. But anyway, we'll move on because we got the box office and all that. But before we do the box office, it's time for another edition of Madman's Fact, Fiction, or Insanity.
Ooh, I like to participate. Yes.
Come on. What's going on? Where's the intro? Okay, we got items here. They're just unusual items that I found on the internet. So basically, either one of these items are fake, or all of them are fake, or all of them are real, or all of them are just insane. Let's start with left to right. The far left one there is a company called Quarry Ice. Well, bag of ice, that's normally what you get before. What's so different on this? This particular ice is basically shaped in spears and squares and all that. And you've seen something similar like this in a bar. You get on there, but now supposedly you can get it at your local supermarket. Item number 2. You need to box up something. You need some tape. Well, get yourself a Shin Godzilla box tape unit. That's right. You can have Shin Godzilla help you seal up your boxes to ship them out when you get pissed off at Sony and you want to ship that unit back to them and tell them where they can shove it to that point on there. Product number 3. Hey, we're in summer. Barbecue time. You grill some hot dogs and all that. You need a great bun. Well, Pringles is putting out a couple of hot dog buns. Now, you may say, what's different these hot dog buns from other hot dog buns? Well, they have the flavor of each of their chips: barbecue, sour cream and onion, cheddar. Add your hot dog, grill your hot dog, throw it on here. And finally, the last one, we've heard of Dunkin' Donuts' Bucket O iced coffee, but really, the ladies want to carry around a bucket. Well, instead, how about a purse? Your iced coffee inside a purse. Just drink away. You're relaxing, walking in the park or something like that. Drink away. So, item number 2, the ice, the Shin Godzilla tape, the Pringles hot dog buns, and the handbag drink dispenser. What are your thoughts, gentlemen?
Okay, well, let me have a question first. So what is the ice thing? What is that? Is that a bag of ice, or is it a thing that shapes?
It's a bag of ice. It's a bag of ice.
And it's just
squares or circles.
It's already shaped into it?
It's already shaped.
Well,
so you'd find this in the freezer section, obviously.
Yeah, if it's real, fake, you don't know. Yeah,
you can already buy ice cubes in the, or a block of ice.
Yeah, this one
and stuff. What's the difference with this stuff?
Fake. This one's got to be.
Why is this so great?
Because it's elite ice. It looks classy.
It's classy. Some of the real classic
fancy Brits
bars have these kind of shapes in there, like
I've seen you put an big ice chunk, and then you put something over it, and it slowly melts it into the shape. That's what I thought it was at first, but this is already you're saying pre-frozen,
pre-blended.
No, because by the time you get it home, it's going to be thawed and misshapen. No, fake. That's where I'm going fake on this one.
Okay.
I'm going to say it's real because it's just stupid enough to be real that people would buy it.
Dean, what you think?
Yeah,
I don't see why this is so fancy, but
yeah, I'm kind of following Sci-Fi Snob's line of thought here, which is this is something so stupid it's bound to be real, and people are bound to buy it. I'll go for real. I'll go for real.
I'm gonna stick with fake.
Okay, number 2, the Shin Godzilla packing tape dispenser.
I want this to be real.
I've seen a lot of weird packing tape things, and people put stuff on it to be cool. So I'm going to say it's real, even though I don't think any serious mover would ever use it. But you know what? Maybe I should say it's fake because it's packing tape. Because packing tape, you only pull it out when you're doing some serious moving.
You see, I think
that one up there would get.
Yeah, I think this is so cool. You want it to be real, but it's fake.
Yeah, maybe it is fake. I mean, I've seen lots of these type of product. People with their tape dispenser looks like a duck or whatever.
Yeah,
but I guess packing tape is really you only use it. So I'm gonna I changed my mind. You convinced me, Dean. I'm gonna say fake simply because no mover would use it. And those are the guys who
no
packing tapes. You want a utilitarian.
Go on out,
but who knows? I could be wrong.
Number 3, the Pringles hot dog bun.
If this is not real, it should be. The fat boy in me is just screaming for joy.
Okay, right, but is it just the buns, or it's not the hot dog?
These are
flavored hot dog buns.
It's your flavored hot dog buns according to Pringle flavors.
And do they come in a tin?
Probably not.
I don't know if they come in that
You
tin.
get only like one or two in a tin at that
That's
point.
just an advertising thing.
Yeah, probably.
Well, Pringles is an American company, so I mean, I got to say, this is something Americans probably would love.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
gonna
There's not
say
enough
yes.
Canadian bacon on it for your taste.
I'm with you. I think
AKA
it's real.
ham.
It's got to be real. I
bound
mean,
to be
Americans
real.
would love this.
Think of it, Dean. You could put your beans on this.
No, beans go on toast.
Oh, no, they don't.
And the last one, the handbag drink
Case thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen people put like drinks in some crazy stuff. I've seen like people put like alcohol in bras pads and they'll go into the baseball field where you can't bring your own drink in and they start pouring it out of your titty.
Now, see, if this was a novelty drink receptacle for the
That's what I'm thinking
Devil
it is.
Wears Prada 2, similar to the popcorn buckets, I think that would
wears
have been
mocha.
cool.
The devil wears decaf. That's even better.
This is too impractical to be.
But that would.
I
I agree.
You can't drink out of that.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a novelty thing like Dean says, then yes. But no,
that's
too impractical.
That would probably be
You'd be
kind of
spilling it all over.
scary too. All that because that's a pretty big. That's what a 10.
Vicky's
women
saying
already
it's
got
stupid
purses,
enough
too.
to be real.
Yeah,
and
Vicky
women already have purses. They're not going to carry two purses, right? One for my drink and one for my other stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
gotta be-
insane.
I know you could put a purse in a purse, so
That's
Ready for the answers?
Yeah.
maybe I
Go
should
on.
change my mind. No, I'm sticking with fake.
Okay.
You're sticking with fake. Go on.
And the answers are they're all real.
Oh my god!
No.
Yes, they are. The Ice Cube one, multiple companies are manufacturing this in certain stores. You're able to go to the store and buy it. They're under different brand names. The Shin Godzilla is available as of recent on there. The Pringle hot dogs were available, has sold out online.
There we go.
Wow.
And they supposedly they do come in the cans. It's like
They
like,
do
Do come in the cans.
they
Oh
come in
my
the
God.
cans. They're in the cans. It just it's a special can that basically it comes in a bag type onto there. The last one, the coffee handbag, it exists. It's a company called Coffee Bean out of Long Island, and they are serving not only the iced coffee, they're serving multiple drinks in this unit. It's been a big craze here in New York on that. It's always New York does it better first, But yeah, this is out of Long Island. It's called Coffee Bean.
I don't accept that last
we're
one.
all
Sorry.
losers.
I
Mad
don't
Men-
accept that
we're
last
all
one. I still
losers
think
on
it's
this.
fake. I don't believe you. There's no way.
Yeah.
No one would be
Well,
that
the thing
dumb.
is, when
New
I
York,
did this
so-
off AI, I erased the name of the company off the bag. The name of the company is on the bag.
I can't get over how you say coffee.
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 Remember that Mike Myers SNL. skit?
That's how a New Yorker says coffee, isn't it?
Yeah, Linda from Coffee Talk. He was basically doing his mother-in-law, who was like a New Yorker, like Jewish woman. Coffee. Talk amongst yourself. I'm a little verklempt.
And
Love
the
Mike.
thing about it is it shouldn't be that crazy because Dunkin' Donuts has the bucket of coffee.
Yeah, but we just didn't think it would go that far.
Oh, you
Purse of
kidding me?
coffee.
Oh, come on. Believe me, you know
That-
that. I mean, come on. We're doing what's the place in Brooklyn that's making the Italian ice cream cones, which is basically they take an Italian bread, hollow it out, put meatballs in it, sprinkle it with cheese, and they're calling it the Italian ice cream.
Oh,
Italians
And it's
do ice cream
great.
though. It's called gelato, and it's beautiful. They don't need to.
I wait for next week when we talk
Red
about
Goat.
the coffee wallet for men.
Coffee wallet. Or
Coffee
that's an
underwear.
espresso wallet, because women.
Sure, yeah, espresso, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Coffee
No,
Talk.
that's
Because this is sexist.
no, and if you said insanity, also you would have been right as well because it's too insane to be real, and of course it is. Also on there, but yeah,
Only one I got wrong. I did say it was insane. The coffee was insanity. I did not think the ice cubes were real. I got that one
I
wrong.
mean, square ice cubes. I mean, who would have thunk it?
well, no, it's like those. They're no.
you can
It's-
go to the high end bars, especially like here in New York. and
that's
you
what-
get yourself a whiskey, like a
Yeah, and you get the big
you get a
ball.
yeah. Yeah, you can get it like the most expensive whiskey on there, and they give you like they put a spear
Yeah,
cube
it's a spear.
into the drink
Yeah, but
itself.
I would think that you just buy a mold somewhere for it.
That's what I thought it
$2.
was. I couldn't
There
even
are
do it
there are the
yourself.
molds out there, but
Molds,
now several
or they were
companies
selling
have
the
thought,
actual ice.
yeah, why put it in the freezer when you can use it immediately?
Because I've seen
It could be special water as well, Fiji water or something like that.
Distilled
what I've
water. That's the only thing I drink.
I've so
Yeah,
that explains so
Vicky's
much.
right. D20 ice cubes.
The only time I drink water is with my whiskey.
Yeah.
But I've seen ones where like it's a mold, a plastic mold you put in your freezer and it comes out and you pop out the ice. It's the Death Star.
Yeah. There's a million of them, right? Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
There are a
yeah.
lot of different
Loads.
A lot of molds. So
this-
that's it for this week for Madman's Fact, Fiction, or Insanity.
That's funny.
So next,
I want
box
those
office.
ones.
Crazy box office we had this weekend, of course, obviously. And the numbers say it for itself. And most people say, well, gee, Moana won. I say, no, really? Look at the numbers.
No.
So we'll go over this a little bit. Moana, as of Sunday, 43 million. Minions and Monsters were able to tout another 21 million, bringing it to 108 worldwide, which puts it to 283. Toy Story 5 did another 19 million, which brings them up total in the US as 404. Worldwide, they're almost tapping to the $1 billion mark. They're about 884. They should hit the $1 billion before the end of the summer. Newly added Evil Dead Burn, which I heard is a really good movie.
That's the first weekend, right?
Yeah, first week, 13 million.
Wow.
International did 11 million. Worldwide, 26 total. So they did surpass their budget on that. So it
For
cost
opening
20 million to
weekend,
make.
that's great. For
So
opening-
they're practically in the black because they didn't do too much advertising.
Are these week? Am I reading this right? The weeks?
I think the date's wrong on the top, but
Yeah, Moana just came out.
Yeah, it's
you
wrong
said
on
that
there. For
wrong.
some reason,
3 weeks?
yeah, I couldn't
That's
fix
what
that.
confused the hell out of me.
Some reason I
Hey,
went
all
to
these-
3 on there.
All these all weeks are wrong because Minions and Monsters just came out.
It's 12 days. 12 days in release.
Okay, so it's 12 days in 3 days, not weeks.
Not weeks. Yeah.
Okay,
I
that's
don't
confusing.
know why it said weeks on there. I don't know, but it's days, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you realize? Do y'all know who's in Minions and Monsters? Trey Parker from South Park. It plays the little Cthulhu monster that you see in commercials.
Yep.
I didn't realize that.
And then rounding off the top 5, Young Washington at almost 7 million, 33 million on there. They only did 8,000 internationally, but I don't think that they were in too many markets.
I
International.
don't see that doing good internationally just because of the sentiment of
No.
America right now.
No. And if you go down to Obsession, basically they're at 427 worldwide, which their domestic box office is 253, 173 overseas. Backrooms is at 367, 194 domestic, 173 international. Supergirl did
Ugh.
another 3,700, domestic 66 at the domestic box office, international 49 for a dismal $116 million. Supergirl expected to lose $250 million on the studio.
Yeah.
so I'm looking at the chart here, the same chart. So Obsession was 7th, Supergirl was 8th. Obsession, which has been out for 59 days,
And is on physical media as of
and
this
it's
week.
been on and is on like streaming or physical media or something. Made 3.8, and Supergirl made 3.7, and it's only been out for 17 days. And Obsession was in just over 2,000 theaters, while Supergirl was in 2,500 theaters.
They dropped it about 1,000 this week.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Just so you know, Young Washington, I don't think has had an international release. There's no international figures for it, and I would agree with that. I don't think it would be received too well outside the US.
I
I'm
found
looking at the numbers here is 33. That's just domestic.
Yeah.
These
Just-
numbers
I
just
found
domestic, no
a
international.
great
It opened
miniseries.
in Portugal. It opened in Portugal.
So
Yes.
it is opening in Portugal. So it might be a stage release across the board to reduce costs.
There might be some interest overseas, but probably it's an American story, American Revolution
it is.
story. That's
Yeah.
very.
I found a great miniseries from 1984 called George Washington, and I could not believe who they got to play George. They got Barry Bostwick, the mayor from Spin City, and along with so many other stuff to play George Washington. And it's I've only watched like an hour of it. It's like 6.5 hours, but I'm enjoying it so far.
And then over 14 on the list, and we have to jump to 14 on this one. Michael has broken the $1 billion mark.
Yeah.
Yes.
371 domestic. It did fantastic international at 629.
Is it bad when you said Michael? My first thought was, oh, there's another Halloween movie came out.
Michael Myers.
That's what I thought.
Unlike Crystal Lake, that's coming out very soon as a
Mhm.
TV series on Peacock. If you didn't hear about that,
I couldn't watch those as a kid, but I've enjoyed some of them as an adult.
let's see, Scary Movie 228 in total. They're not making much. They're going to be off there very soon.
Yeah.
Jackass 25 million total worldwide. Another one that'll be off there soon.
That's a win for them.
Oh, here's the funny one. Stop that train has not even really. They should have fallen off 4 million for a 25 million movie.
Wow, that's horrible. That's horrible.
Yeah, and the same thing with a couple others. Let's see, Mandalorian Grogu, 342. They're about to come off the top on there. Masters of the Universe worldwide, 113 worldwide. Another one that'll probably lose 200, at least 200 million.
I don't think Mortal Kombat 2's done well. Like, they might be.
That's a fun movie, but yeah, it's very niche nowadays. You can't action movies like that don't do well anymore. And I love Carl Urban. I've loved him since Lord of the Rings. Xena, he was Cupid in Xena, which was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And loved him as Dredd. I wish we would have got more of him as Judge
We
Dredd.
should have had more of that. We should have.
Well, there's supposedly something about it is in the works, but maybe a television show. But,
Yeah, it's been in the works for several years now.
Yeah,
I
so
think
we
it's
know
love
dead.
to
I
see
think
a
it's
more
dead.
because I've read the comics and it's so outlandish and goofy in some ways. I would love to see them like that translated into. I love the Sylvester Stallone version. Again, Armando Santi. We were talking about the Odyssey earlier before the show. He played Rico in that movie, but they made the mistake because it was Sly Stallone of taking his helmet off. They did not make that mistake with Carl Urban.
But the Carl Urban version is nowhere. It's much more realistic. It's nothing like the comic.
Yeah.
It's much more.
It's not got the outlandish humor of the comic. It's
That's what I'm saying. I'd
serious.
love to see more.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't like. He's a clone. Not a people. Him and Rico they were clones of Judge Ferguson.
Of the first judge. Judge
I
Ferguson.
I would love to see more of that storyline. If we could take the two movies and kind of mesh them together, I think it would have been an amazing, much better Dredd movie.
I would just like to see more of the urban version of Dredd.
I got to be honest. The
It's
urban one got me.
much darker, and I understand that the other one, but I think they're two separate things now. They're just I wouldn't mix those two. I would do if I was to do a Dredd, I would do a Dredd of like closer to the comic book, and that would be a separate thing. And
that's what I'm saying. I'd love to see a more comic version, accurate story a version of Dredd.
Yes, it's kind of in the same area, but aren't they doing the Rogue Trooper film?
I've not heard.
Yeah, I'm sure they're doing Rogue Trooper as
Wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt it the way things have been going as of late on there. Meanwhile, Disclosure Day had a budget of 115 million. Figured they had to do it another 80 million on top of that. So what did they do? 229 worldwide, but for them to, it sounds like that they broke even, but they didn't. They would have needed 287 to 300 worldwide to break even. So basically,
Still, I mean,
for a Spielberg movie, it's a failure.
I think they were riding on his name a lot more than they should have.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Of course.
And then he did this whole, you're going to question your religion and stuff like this. It didn't go down well.
That would have been interesting if they had done it, but apparently they don't, right?
I'm not surprised that Moana did so well because it's only been 10 years since the original version. And a lot of people who saw the original version and loved it, they're having little kids now. But I think it was way too soon to do a live action. And from what I've seen of it, The Rock in that wig looks ridiculous.
Yeah, I think The Rock is letting down that film. Everybody's complained, and it's the one complaint. It's The Rock. He's just not good in that film.
In the he's great in the cartoon. Yeah.
I don't see why we're doing live action remakes of perfectly good animation projects. What's the point?
To make
their budget was 250. They only did 100 worldwide, and then of course figure another 100, 150 for advertisement. You're talking about between 450 to maybe 550 to break even. They're not going to make it.
And Moana I understand it's a shot for shot remake almost, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's exactly
they're doing what they did with How to Train Your Dragon.
I understand it's the same. I understand why it's the same because it's a good story. Why would you change the story? It would be a mistake. But then Disney's stupid. Just re-release the animation in the theaters or something. Like people would go to see that, wouldn't they? I mean, why would you go and see a live action exactly the same movie? What's the point? Save yourself a fortune and just re-release the movie in theaters.
Yeah. So apparently, Road Trooper has been done. So that's the AD 2000 world, and it's had an independent release, but the theatrical release is still being held back. An indie film, kind of rumored to have cost about 20 million to make. So this is slipping under the radar because I saw it pop up on a feed once, and there's not a great deal of information out there about it.
AD 2000 is such a great world. It's so gritty.
It is,
and I love it how it goes. It's in real time. I love. I don't think any other comic franchise is in real time because isn't Dredd like in his 80s at this point? He's old as
he is.
Shit now, and he's still going. He's still out there on the streets.
Yep. Keely, welcome. We were talking box office. Sony. We were talking Sony earlier, and I like your comment. CM Punk was right. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is a ball of fraud. He's done.
Yeah.
I honestly, Rock needs to go retire.
That's the only reason. The only good things he's done is stuff with Kevin Hart. The past 10, 15 years, only good things he did, decent things he did.
Because he did, was it CIA?
CIA.
With Kevin Hart? Yeah, that was good. Yeah, Jumanji. Yeah.
There's another Jumanji coming out this winter.
Yeah.
This is the fourth Jumanji. No. Yeah, the fourth Jumanji.
They've done 2. This is the third.
4.
Oh, if you're including the original. Yes,
well, the original, it was direct. The Welcome to the Jungle was a sequel to the original.
Yeah.
So, and I thought that was such a brilliant idea of taking the board game and modernizing it and turning it into a console.
Yeah,
and I enjoyed it. I liked Karen Gillan. The whole cast was great in it. And then you bring in Danny DeVito and Danny Glover in the third one. Central Intelligence was the one he did. But I think he's overdone. His time
way overdone. I thought he was done at Skyscraper when he did that movie.
Skyscraper was awful. I had so many high hopes for that. We love the disaster movies, and we sat down, bucket of popcorn, and hated it.
Journey 2, remember the mysterious?
Yeah.
I would have loved to see a third one. I love Michael Caine, Luis Gutierrez, our current Gomez Adams. He was in that one. Josh Hutcherson. I love the Jules Verne's stories, but The Rock.
Well, let's put it this way. Do you know how popular The Rock is in the WWE as far as merch? We lost Snob.
Retro.
Uh-oh.
The Polar Bears got him. The Mounties got him.
Yeah. Do you know how popular The Rock's merch is?
It's probably fallen down.
Let's put it this way. Number 2 currently is Danhausen.
So his merch is still pretty big, right?
Oh, they created a monster in itself. I mean, if you haven't seen anything with Danhausen and all that, they've done oh man.
He's got the history with wrestling.
CM Punk was the one who brought him over.
He's third generation wrestler.
Right.
He's back. Bring him in.
Is he? Oh,
yeah. I saw a video
Guess
recently.
who's back? Snob is back.
I saw a video recently.
They hit me instead of Dean.
Yeah. they missed.
Mistake. Damn it.
I saw a video recently.
Taking fire for everybody else.
Yes.
Keely, I forgot who was number 1, but it ain't The Rock.
It ain't The Rock?
No, Keely asked who's number 1 in the merch. I'm trying to remember, but it's not The Rock.
I bet Hulk fell flat after he came out pro-Trump.
Yeah, because it's for the amount that Danhausen has been selling. I mean, Danhausen's selling in the ESPN store. Okay, that's how popular Danhausen is right now. That basically because he was supporting the Knicks and some of that, had the whole thing with the Knicks and all that, and they have Danhausen shirts that like he uncursed the Knicks because he had this whole what's his name, Stephen Smith from freaking ESPN. They had that whole they had that whole fight between the third and Danhausen's like, you are cursed, you know that, and then suddenly the Knicks weren't winning.
What I was saying, at the London premiere for Moana, someone brought him a 50-year-old program to his grandfather's wrestling event that they had in London. And he got choked up, and he's like, "Here," and the guy gave it to him. Hey, this is for your mom. It was his mom's father, and he gets choked up. I think he's a nice guy. It's just we've been overexposed to him as an actor.
Now, what about we should discuss the elephant in the room.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns at the top on number 1, and then Danhausen comes in number 2.
I'm talking about back to the movies.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It's got to be the Odyssey.
Yeah, I saw Chris Gore's video.
Oh,
well, I was right about one thing. All the controversy they've pushed to the edges, and it's not a big part of the film. I was wrong about the other thing, though, is the film sounds terrible still.
They say it's boring, right?
Yeah, it sounds boring.
They said they just, it's like the other characters and all that they were complaining about. It's like a special guest star on The Love Boat, Yeah.
They said Chris Gore said the only sequence that he enjoyed was the Cyclops sequence. Can't remember the Cyclops' name. But other than that, he didn't like he thought everything was too dark, too monotone. Didn't like
too modern toned.
Yeah, he said the dialogue was too modern.
The dialogue really pulled him out of the story, I guess.
Yeah. It kept breaking the fourth wall. It's
one of my favorite renditions is the late 90s Armand Asante version miniseries. And it had it was this hoity-toity kind of British nobility way of talking, and they didn't say, "Come on, let's go do this. Like, we must go." It still had that tone, and for a miniseries, it looked amazing. From what compared to the movie, it's like you had such a bigger budget than a miniseries, and a miniseries outdid you. So,
yeah. What did Alan say with Chris Gore? He goes, "Yeah, I'm so excited not to go back and see this again."
Yeah,
on the Odyssey.
Yeah, doesn't Alan like everything?
Yeah, generally.
He's supposed to like everything. He didn't like Supergirl. He didn't like this. I mean, Must be really bad if Alan.
It's got to be. If Chris Gore and Alan came out, and said this is bad, holy crap! I could imagine the numbers when it comes out this weekend. That's this weekend.
Yeah.
Literally.
It's too bad because it'd be great to get back to some of these these sort of 50s style epic, like the 10 Commandments style of movies with these giant sets and
Clash of the Titans and stuff like that. Just grand and over the top, but not loud. Not loud.
I enjoyed the Sam Whitaker version of Clash of the Titans, but I love the old stop motion one. I love that one.
You can't beat the stop motion one.
Yeah, bring up Keeley's comment again if you don't mind, Madman.
Yeah, sure.
I was gonna.
Oh wait, hold
I
on.
did it. Not that one. The one about.
Yeah, no, it jumped out to the next one.
A lot of people in Greece are not happy with the film due to the fact the casting. There's not a single Greek actor in the entire production. I read a letter. I did a review of it, the trailer, and I read an open letter from one of Greece's major newspapers saying we're not some dead culture that you can just change. We are a living, breathing culture that have been around for thousands of years. Yeah. They said we wish them the best. We hope it's a success, but we're not happy.
Yeah, it's Hollywood.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's Hollywood at its best being hypocritical here, because you got Moana, where they are extolling the virtue that they've taken indigenous people and they've respected the culture and they've done all of this, and that's held up on a pedestal as the way to do the film. And then you got the Odyssey, where they turned their back on it and they did everything they could to make sure there was no Greek culture brought in, and even the language was changed to make it modern, and a complete disrespect to the original material. And you got these because
Greeks are classified as white, so
I wouldn't want one to guess why, but you put the two side by side, and the hypocrisy of Hollywood is bare for everybody to see.
Well, imagine this movie.
Go ahead, sorry.
Done like Apocalypto, right? Yeah. With all Greeks in ancient Greek. I mean, Apocalypto was a great movie. Awesome. I love that movie. Imagine that done to the Odyssey.
Yeah, but Mel Gibson went out of his way to make sure. He even cast proper, as in the natives too, and loads of them hadn't seen cameras or anything like that.
They've never acted before.
Never acted.
I mean, there was nobody in that movie. I mean, and that's what you should have. I mean, I think one of the Film Threat guys' comments was Chris. I guess his comment was. It's all I saw was Matt Damon acting and Tom Holland acting and these people acting. I didn't see.
He said they weren't acting; they were just being themselves.
Oh, okay.
So on screen,
but they didn't
just
see the character, right?
Matt Damon.
It reminds me. Have you seen The Death of Stalin?
Yes.
And they made a decision not to try and put on Russian accents, but for everybody to speak in their natural English accents. And it works well because it's very much a parody of what happened in Russia. And the film works incredibly well with that. With something like The Odyssey, you've got to respect how the language is used within The Odyssey to make sure the nuance comes alive. And it's not a parody. It's not a comedy. It's a serious film. It's a serious
look at the Passion of the Christ.
Serious film. Yeah.
Look at the Passion of the Christ. Christ was in that in the original language.
In contemporary for the times Hebrew. That I love that movie. But from what I don't know, I'm not going to say this about the current Odyssey, but the miniseries was filmed all over the world, but they actually filmed a lot of it too in Greece. So a lot of I think the islands scenes, like Ithaca, was in Greece, but they also filmed it in New Zealand for like stage stuff because it used a lot of Jim Henson, the Jim Henson company at the time. But I just find it, they just like, and the translation, from what I understand, is a very liberal translation done by a woman who is just taking the story of Homer and just like bastardized it. And did y'all hear over the weekend what the actress who's playing Helen said? Oh, she said she would like to ask Homer why didn't he write about war through the lens of woman? Did you not follow Penelope's story at all in the Odyssey. It was about her story was about dealing with being left at home. Like your man has gone off to war. What are you going to deal with at home? And then all of a sudden he's gone missing for 10 extra years. Odysseus is gone for 20 years. That's what people don't. I think that's what some people are forgetting. He's not just gone for a few days.
You got to remember, it's. I mean, the director probably read multiple, versions of the Odyssey.
What she said. I can't remember. I cannot pronounce the actress's name.
Yeah, but
I'm going to try.
A lot of these actors, they did not read the book itself. You know, it used to be a time that you know when you did a role, you know, you went out and researched it. You know, you're going to research the role. You're going to go out. You know, learn about the character you're going to be. Today, it's here's the script. Hope for the best, and that's it. You know, hope we get an Oscar nomination.
Research it's not good for actors to do research, because when they do, they'll become like Henry Cavill. Well, they'll be going, oh, the director's destroying the original, and then I quit. Or they get frustrated with them, and it's a difficult back and forth. So it's best for them not to research the role, because otherwise they're going to be like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing.
But it's different than The Witcher or Warhammer. This is the Odyssey. This is one of the cornerstones of Western civilization's literature. This is one of the greatest classic. Whether you've read it or not, you know Odysseus, Achilles, all these characters, you know them whether you read it or not. And it's surprising that they haven't read it, because when I was in high school in 9th or 10th grade, that was our reading in our semester of English. We read the Odyssey.
I was talking to my daughter, and I said, you know, about this movie, and I said, she goes, no, she doesn't know anything about it. She hasn't studied it or anything. But I said, well, do you know what? The reference of a Trojan horse? Oh yeah.
Yes.
Do you know?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's from here. Do you know the story of the Cyclops? Yeah. You know the story of the Minotaur? Yeah. That's all from the Odyssey. And she's like, oh, you know, she's fine.
That's what I mean. It's so ingrained into our culture. Even if you haven't read it, you know it.
Yeah, exactly.
But see, they're not properly training in this, teaching this in the schools.
Yeah,
you know, they've taken. We've talked about this channel before, Pens and Poisons, and how she explained why Columbia University is just the bastion in their English department of politics, you know, of radicals, and they're not properly teaching English literature properly. You know, the stories, the real stories on there. No, they're trying to compare them to basically other minorities, and to LGBTQ situations, which or particular politics, you know, socialism and stuff like that. And those stories are nothing to do. Shakespeare has nothing to do with that, you know, or Edgar Allan Poe or any of the other great writers of the past.
Look what they just did to Animal Farm. They literally, in that animated version, they literally flipped it on its side, so it meant the movie they did told the complete opposite story.
Exactly.
It's supposed to be a cautionary tale, but that's not what they did in the movie. They used it as capitalism.
Yeah. It's revisionist history, and this is the problem with Hollywood, is that they're trying to change these movies. They're trying to change the history, you know, to bend into their whim, to their situation. Still to this day, and I keep seeing this in Twitter, I keep seeing it on social media sites, is that they keep saying that there was a black samurai in Japan, which is partially incorrect. Yes, there was a African that visited Japan at a time with a Portuguese monk, that they were traveling onto there. The Japanese never seen a man of color to this nature, and they were, you know, they tried to scrape his color off and all that, you know, and because they've never seen this before. And they said, and they gave him the role of samurai, but it's not to the role of samurai that you would think, to the point. And the thing about it is, he left after a time period. He wasn't in the middle of a war. He didn't do all the things that they keep saying online on there. He was there because he was with someone that was traveling. He was a traveling, working with this monk, and they went back. They went back to Portugal. You know, when it was all done, said and done. You know, they didn't stay. You know, unlike the other character, which is based in the Shogun series and the Shogun novels, which basically had a bigger interaction to the actual history of Japan. You know, and this is always the situation in the United Kingdom. You know, you've had a lot of the movies that have been flopped around and changed the characters. Netflix has done a couple of, you know, change, you know, these Victorian era characters.
A couple.
To reflect, you know, it is like, oh yeah, this person is like
Queen Anne. They made black. Which queen did they make
I
black?
think they've made the entire royal family at one point or another black. But that's what Netflix does, and they use their artistic license to get away with it. And they say, well, it's not historical. It's, you know, a retelling through a different lens.
But then the average person thinks that's history.
Yeah.
Well, if the average person thinks that that's history in the UK, then they're sadly lacking in education.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Very much so. But outside of the UK, you're right. Someone in America, if they start watching these, they'll start to have the impression. Yeah, but
that's the way this is. It's like, you know, you're seeing all these historic, you know, Hamilton. It's like, okay, Hamilton's a nice play and all that, but yeah, it wasn't a bunch of Hispanics that found, you know, America,
really
you know, to the point.
Yeah, it really says something about the weakness of your own culture if you have to appropriate someone else's culture and pretend that you did it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with stealing other people's culture and adopting it and you know, using it yourself. I've got no problem with that, right? Like, I like tacos just like anybody else, or pizza, or beans on toast. Well, maybe I don't like beans on toast, but you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But stealing it and pretending that you were, no, it's actually we did it. It wasn't this other. You know, that says something about more about you.
That's like the whole thing with Dutch braids. The name, the origins in the name. But there are so many cultures that like, oh, you can't wear that. You're not the right color, kind of thing. And I saw a video once. This woman went after a guy who had braids in his hair at a college because she was trying to cut him off. Like, you can't wear that. You're not the right color.
But, you know, and I heard one was a video where a guy did a breakdown on inventions by people from Africa. And it's like, you know, most of those inventions were things that they improved on. They didn't originally invent it. And one of the inventions they got wrong on one particular black man, that basically he had a bigger impact to the situation. They said, oh, he invented air conditioning. No, he didn't invent air conditioning. What
actually,
he
that was invented down here in Florida.
Huh?
Air conditioning was invented in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take that away from my...
The gentleman, and I forgot the guy's name, the man who they claimed invented it, didn't invent air conditioning. He invented air conditioning for trucks. In other words, the refrigeration for the trucks themselves. So you carry food across, you know, in trucks. He and basically they didn't put to that point. He made an important impact on our society, but they got it wrong.
And they also used it as a way to cool someone down when they were suffering from a fever. Mm-hmm. What they did is they had this almost like a lamp fixture on the ceiling, and they would put ice, and you know what does cold air do? It falls and would help cool. There's actually a museum just about 45 minutes to an hour drive from where I'm at right now. That it's a museum dedicated to this man in Apalachicola, Florida. That's where he was from. So for them, it's like, it bothers me when
we'll leave that for another time.
And try to rewrite history.
Yeah. So because we got another show coming up in about an hour. Dean's got to leave us in a bit on there. In fact, Dean, what do you got coming up?
We're talking about the design of Untold Destiny and why it's different from other mainstream systems, and our sort of thought process behind it. We wanted to capture that sort of classic feel of role play, but make sure that it was more dynamic, more exciting, and to do improvements in the areas that we felt personally were lacking in these mainstream systems. So join us in an hour's time, and we'll be talking all about that. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. And Outpost Nerd, what do you got coming up?
Still trying to find some movies for my popcorn bucket hole show where I review the worst. Some of them are just impossible to find good quality videos of them. So
I know
keep an eye out for that. Yesterday I did a little tribute for Sam Neill, so go check that out on my channel. But other than that, just some real life stuff going on.
Okay, and then of course Sunday we got Bad News Bars, 9 p.m. Eastern. I know they'll probably have another guest. I'm not certain who they're going to have this week, but it's probably going to be as big as last week and the week before because they've been having some great guests on their show. Also, don't forget Live from the Bunker, Sci-Fi for Me TV. From what I understand online, he's having some issues with the internet. There's been some work being done, so that's why he hasn't been on this week yet. So do subscribe to him, so at least you'll be notified when he'll be back on the air. I'm hoping he'll change certain companies because I think he has Xfinity by him because it's Spectrum, which they're really awful to that point on there. And tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Snob, what do we got tomorrow night?
It's back to Babylon 5, episode 7. There you go, Epiphanies. Yeah. And we'll be doing that at our 10 p.m. Central. That's so it's pretty much set now. We're an hour earlier than we were normally. So hopefully that's people are enjoying that better. And we're gonna do Project Hail Mary on Sunday.
Oh, that's
and I will say, go check out Dean's. Even a sci-fi snob like me enjoyed playing this medieval RPG stuff. So it's got to be good if I like it. So.
Absolutely. Yes.
Great dynamic system, keeps you engaged. I like it.
And then, of course, we are still doing Madman with the Show Summer Edition. We got some special videos out there. This week, we will be tapping into anime itself. We'll be talking about the high anime shutdown and arrest that happened in Vietnam. Also, we will be talking about on Thursday. There is an anime that is coming from a manga, which basically is a bit controversial. It's if you know what a Yuri manga, Yuri anime story, it is basically a lesbian tale. But unfortunately, there are those online that like to give it a trans fix, if you know what I mean, to that point. Next week, I still haven't figured out what we're going to do next week for Tuesday's Madman Cafe. I'm still jiggling a couple of stories themselves. There's so much on there. Also, don't forget, shopcutiecast.com. Stand up, gear up, stand out, join the movement on there. Stay mad is the promo code, 10% off on there at shopcutiecast.com. Of course, we say stay curious, stay informed, stay mad to that situation. So until next week, thank you, gentlemen, for showing up to the panel. Thank you for those who have showed up on there, especially Mr. Repro54, who just came in at the at the half end. I don't know if you've been throughout the show on there. We really do appreciate on there. Thank you again. So remember, stay informed, stay curious, and most of all, stay mad. We'll see you on the next edition of the Madman Cafe.
Good night.
Later.
Good night.
Thanks for coming by. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and maybe we might let Madman out for the next live stream.